Hello and welcome to another edition of Charch Chat here at Open Sports. I am Paul Charchian from League Safe. And you know, one of the things that I'm really happy to see is that we're starting to get some members that are posting some questions and comments to my videos here at Open Sports, and that's great. And definitely want to respond to those things whenever I can. And you know, the best kinds of questions are ones that can help a lot of different people. And so tend to take kind of a broad approach to a lot of your questions and try to help out and answer as many of them as I can as we go through this each week. And I want to spend some time on muddy running back situations, specifically Oakland, Denver, and Cincinnati. Let's begin in Oakland, where it is a three-headed monster of sorts, but I've got a strong take on this one. First, and I've talked about this before, so bear with me. Darren McFadden, I'm not a believer. I don't think this toe injury is going to keep him effective for much of the season. And the fact that Justin Fargas turned into the starter immediately upon his earliest return from injury tells me a lot. I really think Justin Fargas is going to have the first crack at most of the carries most of the time. And I think they're running McFadden almost out of an obligation because of where he was drafted. Certainly not out of performance at this point. And I worry a little bit about Michael Bush stealing goal line carries. But this team isn't even getting near the goal line. I almost think we're better off hoping that there's a longer run. And Justin Fargas, to me, the guy, if you're going to have one of these guys on roster, Justin Fargas is the one to have. And actually, I don't think the other two belong on a roster. Michael Bush almost traded at the deadline, and that might have helped him had he gone elsewhere, and it probably would help Fargas and McFadden as well had Bush departed. But definitely interested in Fargas, and I like his value the best. But this is a team that hasn't rushed for a touchdown out of the running back position yet. So you know, we're keeping all things being even. We still don't love any of these three guys, but let's move on next to the Denver situation. It's been a three-headed monster so far, but only Michael Pittman has been effective because Pittman's gotten goal line carries and got a lot of work in more of a featured role last week. Selvin Young is just played droppable at this point. 11 carries is his season high, and he's been pretty darn ineffective, and he doesn't get the ball near the stripe. Andre Hall even more so, and now they're going to bring in Ryan Torain, who's finally back from the dislocated elbow that he suffered in the preseason, and that just sort of further muddies the water. And I'm seeing everybody jump on Torain here. I don't see it. I mean, maybe it turns out that he's an exceptional back and that he's so much better than Hall and Young that suddenly he's going to become that featured back that we haven't seen in Denver in 5 years, but I doubt it. It just doesn't seem likely, and I'm not wasting a roster spot on this guy. I'm not even bidding for him in my leagues, and I don't recommend that you make a play for him either. Pittman is still the best guy to have out of this group, and I don't think it's that close. Let's next go to the Cincinnati situation. Chris Perry has fumbled himself out of a job. I'm not sure he starts as early as this weekend. His average on the season is 2.6 yards per carry. That's terrible. He's virtually unstartable in leagues, and he's virtually unstartable for the Bengals. So they're going to have to make some changes here as well. So who do they go to? Now, to this point, it's been Cedric Benson, but that's because of injuries. And I really don't believe Cedric Benson's the answer. I don't think they think Cedric Benson is the answer. I don't think anybody likes Cedric Benson or counts on Cedric Benson. I really believe Kenny Watson's going to be the next guy. Now, he's been sidelined with a hamstring injury, but while everybody's scrambling to go get Benson, go get Watson. I really believe that he's got the next best chance of being the full-time back there. He's been with the team for a long time. He knows the system. They know what they're going to get out of him. From a characteristic, you don't have all the problems that Benson's got, and I think Benson wouldn't even be on roster had Dede Dorsey and Kenny Watson been healthy. And so I think that's a mirage. And fantasy guys, don't spend a lot of time and effort on Benson. Let's concentrate on Kenny Watson, who I think has more upside and may very well be just playing a better running back, which it may certainly be the case as well. So again, I want to encourage you, send any questions that you've got, comments, whatever you've got on my video pages. I'll do my best to respond, especially to those items that can affect a lot of people. And thanks again.
So you think you can tackle a pro? There's only one way to find out. Click on fantasy at opensports.com.